to take out the technique is
Right. Okay, I'm going to get out to the pot of coffee here. KS6 West, I'll be back.
November 6 kilowatt X-ray. How's it going, everyone?
Real good, Dale. You sound real good.
Well, thank you, Fred, and so are you.
Hello, everybody. It is 7:52 on this beautiful, what is this, Friday evening here. Sorry, I'm kind of sidetracked. I'm listening to them talk a little QSO right there on 144.250. My name is Greg, K6EGG from the city of Chino. I'm roughly about 2 miles north of the Chino Airport in Chino, California. Right now, we're about ready to join in some conversations here. I think I hear Rob in there, N6KX there. And it sounds like maybe Fred, too. So we're going to jump in there and take a listen.
Get such good reports. And, Larry giving me that unsolicited report and thinking I was using a Hale microphone, that was quite the compliment.
All right. So how'd you get it on 2-meter sideband? We met you on FM, then we told you about 2-meter sideband, and then you bought a radio and came up here, huh?
Yeah, I mean, I would say there's some truth to that. I was already considering the Icom 9700, but I was talking to people like you and Dale and mentioning the possibility of getting the 9700, and then everybody, strongly encouraged me, and people were more than willing to spend my money for me. But I'm glad I did. I love this radio. And I just got a text from Greg that apparently we are now live on YouTube. Hey, Greg.
Yeah, real good there, Greg. We had an interesting show today, earlier, before you were here, and from another gentleman over there in Harbor City. And I'm looking up his call right now. His call is N9Q Echo. His name is Larry, and he does professional grounding with for the FFA and everything. And we had a real good QSO there with Rob and Keith and me about different kind of grounding stuff. We learned a lot. I told him to get up here so we can get him on YouTube. Pick it up there, Rob. Finish it off. KS6 West.
It was a great QSO. I definitely learned a lot, and I hope Larry shows up. It'd be cool to have him out here one evening just while we're shooting the breeze and kind of get into some conversations about various aspects of the hobby, but especially with grounding. He definitely knew his stuff when it came to grounding.
Absolutely. Funny you guys say that. I talked to one of the engineers at work that he was in the Navy. I believe he was working with some radio type stuff. And I asked him about the ground and the flat cable, and he 100% agreed what Fred said about the flat cable and getting EMI in and whatever else. Basically turns into an antenna. So, Fred, you steered me in the right direction. Eventually, I'll get that going. I don't know when, probably in a couple weeks or so.
Real good. Larry also agreed with me, too, on the flat strap and everything. So I hope he comes up here tonight, because I told him we'd like to get this streamed on YouTube for all the other people amateur radios listen on, because he took it a little bit step further than me. We went into more detail on the surface area with the ground rods, 5/8 versus 3/4. How do you put one ground rod to another ground rod if you're daisy chaining them or serial? So we had a real good QSO. And then he was talking about grounding place. If you can't put a ground rod in a grounding plate. And a grounding plate, it would be 2 feet by 2 feet, 1/4 inch. And to make it work properly, you have to put it in the center, weld it in the center. This was a copper plate, and it's got to be 12 inches below the grade of your where you're putting it on. 12 inches below, and this plate has got to be horizontal, not vertical in the ground. You got to put it a certain way. So he was getting real detail on this. Go ahead, Rob, pick up what I'm saying. K6 West.
Well, yeah, I can definitely vouch for that's what he was saying. He gave a lot of different options, which was really nice. But and I can definitely vouch for the fact that he did in fact strongly recommend the flat strap, and he also specifically mentioned what Fred has mentioned many times, which is if you use ground wire, like I am currently using right now on my HF rig, that can act as a type of antenna and cause different problems. So it's definitely a no-no.
Well, that's what I use. Right to the wrist down in the ground rod and so I've got I think it's two and a half inch ground flat.
Boy, if that's Alex, I've got a weak copy on you tonight, Alex.
Yeah, QSL, that's what I told you. Remember, I have 2 inch and it's flat, 2 inch grounding strap over.
Oh yeah, Roger on that. I'm sure that's cheap.
It was cheap for me. I only paid $5 at a what do you call it, aerospace naval swap meet, over.
Yeah, Roger on that. Well, that's the way to get stuff if you can.
Well, anyway, flat is better. But this guy today was talking about using what did he say, Fred? Odd cable, or were you listening?
Yeah, 4-aught cable. That's pretty hefty, but remember, this is all commercial and professional stuff. 4-aught, that's pretty good sized cable. Back to you, Alex.
Yeah, that's to handle the lightning. But I always use a flat strap. That's the way to go. But you suit yourself. You find that a lot of things work, and you don't need this, that, and the other thing. N6EGG.
Did he say anything about a 100-foot run with a flat strap?
100-foot rod?
100-foot run. I have a 100-foot run from my, probably closer to 90 feet run from my ham shack, which is on the second story to get to Earth.
Tell you what, I told you, TRW did a lot of experiments with 6-foot ground rods, and they put a piece of metal, flat metal, and a wire above it, and run it straight out, 300 yards, They did all kinds of crazy experiments to see what worked. So there's all kinds of empirical data out there. I don't know, does it work for you? I don't have any equipment, and I'm not coming up there to test anything for you, over. Did I double with somebody?
No, you didn't double.
Yeah. So, there's some testing equipment you can buy at the cost of what? Fred, tell them about the ground machines, over.
Yeah, you can buy these ground machines for testing. They only cost like $5,000. Me and Alex looked them up. But Ward found a place there in LA, and they only rent to professional people. And Ward was looking at it, and they can rent this thing to Ward. It was like $250. Ward, are you on frequency tonight? W6 Whiskey Delta. Are you in there, Ward? K6 West.
Roger, K6 West, W6 WWD. Yeah, you can rent a ground meter. I think it was about $275 for 1 week, or I think $350 for a month.
He has a Chinese copy up there. I don't know if it works. I've never bought one. For just about $280, $300, over.
This is one, I guess it looked like these little jaws, so like a ring would open up and you'd put it around the ground rod. Is that what you're talking about, Alex?
Si, senor. the resistance is, but when you're doing the RF, better to have that type of coupler on it.
QSL, okay, yeah, that makes more sense. I wasn't sure if, you could kind of, do it kind of, on the cheap, but okay, good to know. Appreciate it.
Well, that's the whole thing. You can water around the ground and put a great big long rod in there just for something to tie to an alligator clips. Put little 8-cent stainless steel around right next to your ground rod to see what the conductivity of 2 ground rods. Find out what the conductivity is, like 1 foot out, 3 feet out, if you get that critical about it, over.
Okay, good, so I got that. Yeah, I don't, I'm sure we're not at 10 ohms, but any of us that have got one or more have definitely probably where we need to be or should be for what we're doing.
What's amateur radio? How much you want to put in it? You're not running the 10 kW out there or the 30,000 watts at a what do you call it, radio station, over?
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah, for what we have and what we're doing, I'm sure any of us would be fine with minimal 1 or more, and we should be happy with that. So, okay, I'm good with that. I'll turn it back over to everybody, W6WWD.
Yeah, good hearing you out here tonight, Ward. November 6th, kilowatt X-ray. Fred calling out for you it gave me a good idea. Maybe we should see who else is out there and just maybe, I don't know what you want to call it, take roll. But I'll start November 6th, kilowatt X-ray, Rob in Riverside.
Kilo November 6, Oscar Sierra, Frias, California, 3 miles west of Doss Prairie Farm.
W6WWD, Cypress.
K6EGG, City of Chino, 2 miles north of the Chino Airport.
Did anybody copy that weak station?
Yeah, that was Lake Terrace.
Okay, I wasn't able to copy it very well or get a call sign. Can somebody relay?
Come back again. Kilo Charlie 6, come back again. Over. Kilo Charlie 6, Zulu Echo and Lake Terrace here. Right, my cement buddy over there in Lake Terrace. Did you copy him, K6EGG? Greg, could you hear him?
Negative. I have 0 copy on him. Is Lake Terrace up by, Whiteman Airport or something like that?
Lake Terrace, they'd like to know approximately your QTH, what freeways or what, name another big town, QSL? QSL. Sunland, California, and the 210 freeway there, Greg.
That's a heck of a trip up there. Yeah, I don't hear him, unfortunately. I don't know if he hears me, but let him know about the YouTube and see if he can hear all of us basically but himself.
K6 Charlie, you Zulu Echo. Are you watching everything on YouTube so you can hear all the audio, QSL?
I'm so bad with call letters myself. That's why I'm smiling.
Do you know the YouTube channel? It's YouTube at Kilo 6 Echo Golf Live. YouTube Kilo 6 Echo Golf Live. We're live right now, QSL. that and look for live 3/19/21. You'll see it. You got your computer on? Okay, he's turning his computer on now. So that's Kilo 6 Echo Golf live YouTube. You'll see us live right now. You can hear all the audio there. Pick it up whoever wants it. KS6OS.
Hey, Greg. Keith here, WA6QXA.
Hey, Keith. It's good to hear you.
I'm talking on my 7100 right now.
Yeah, you definitely sound different. You at your work QTH tonight?
No, I just took the 7100 home for the weekend.
Copy that. Yeah, was it yesterday morning was the first time I think I talked to you at your work QTH there.
Oh, yeah.
Man, you sound a world difference than your other radio there. Pretty amazing. You could probably compare with yourself there.
Well, this is the 7100. I'll make the switch over to the Meizu 991A in just about 20 seconds.
Well, you don't sound bad, but I was just saying you sound different. Rob, would you agree?
Yeah, I would, Greg. And in fact, I talked to Keith earlier tonight, and I told him how different he sounded. The way I explain it, he sounds smoother, but I couldn't decide whether it was in a good way. He's not as clear. There's not as much. I kind of struggle with a description, but there's not as much contrast in his voice. It's more monotone.
Coming from an audio guy, I would say that's a very good analogy.
Oh, good. Well, thank you. I definitely take that as a compliment.
All right, I'm back at the Yaesu now, dubbed 991 Alpha.
Now, that's the Keith that I know.
Has a different...
Hey, you know, for somebody watching on YouTube right now, the KG6LI, there is a Noggles. There's two of them or three of them down in Orange County, one in Fountain Valley, the other in Stanton, the other one in Huntington Beach by the pier.
Hey, Keith?
Yes?
Did you hear that guy down in Sunland? Did you hear him?
The guy down 7?
No, in Sunland. K6 used Zebra Echo. Did you hear him?
I did not.
Oh, you couldn't hear him, huh? Okay.
When was he on?
Just a couple minutes ago.
Oh, I missed it. I heard him.
Hey, Alex, give him a call there. See if he got it on YouTube here yet.
No.
Pick it up, Keith. Talk about Larry today. What he all talked about grounding. Pick it up, Keith.
We already went through that discussion with Alex.
Yeah, but now we're on YouTube.
Yeah, so I want to turn it on, so let me turn it on. Listen.
Freddie cracked me up, man.
Why is that?
You just do.
Well, I'm trying to get everybody motivated here, get talking. Sometimes on the other times we're really talking, you can't get a word edgewise, and then sometimes the frequency gets a little too quiet, so I'm trying to stir it up.
Oh, I know, I get it. There's somebody on YouTube that's watching it said something in my comment section, KG6LI. I wonder if he has a 2-meter sideband he can jump on. I want to say I talked to him on maybe 2 meters or something.
Anybody out there sandbag, please make your call and jump in there. This is open it to anybody. KS6OS, jump in there now. Break.
All right, so I turned on YouTube, and immediately it just found you. I didn't have to even do a search.
I've had to make some adjustments. YouTube sent me some emails, so I had to change some of my, what's the word I'm looking for, search keys, and I've changed some of my video settings as well. So hopefully it'll be a little bit clearer for you guys tonight. I'm back up to 1080p, and I'm getting a new internet connection on Monday, so it might speed up the delay as well.
Actually, I was going to say your delay looks shorter tonight than possibly ever.
Really, the only thing I changed was the quality. So the video of the at least the screen on the radio should be a lot better. I don't know about anything else.
Yeah, I don't either, but on my end, the delay is definitely as short as it's ever been.
So as of Monday, if everything goes well, the installation, I'm changing from Spectrum Internet to have 25 up, which I'm burning almost all of it because I have some cameras, some Nest cameras and some other stuff, a server I'm running that I'm uploading stuff on, to Frontier that will give me about 500 meg up, and that should give me a little bit clearer path for a steadier upload.
I have Frontier.
I had it before. I didn't have any problems with it. How is it now?
Internet-wise, fine.
You guys probably can't tell, but I'm getting some drop frame data problems. So that hopefully will fix those issues. Shouldn't affect the audio at all, but you'll see maybe glitches in the picture every once in a while.
So what was the email you got from YouTube? What was it that they were requesting from you?
They weren't really requesting anything, kind of. They were more saying that they noticed that I was doing uploading or doing live. Once you hit a certain threshold, I think they kind of welcome you in. Because I couldn't turn the chat on until I had X amount of hours or whatever. But they said, to improve your search availability, use a couple keywords and stuff like that. So I kind of changed some stuff around. Wording, I added Icom 9700, changed the older videos and added that in, and put in live right now when I go live, and then take it off when it goes basically to like a regular video after.
Gotcha. All I know is it's working good tonight, so good job.
Is the radio screen clear tonight? I think this is about as good as I'm going to get it. I got rid of a lot of the halo around the numbers at least now.
Yeah, no, I mean it looks really good. It looks as good as when I saw it the other day when you were doing some of that testing.
Thank you. I appreciate it. It's been a lot of work behind the scenes to get this thing going correctly and trying to learn this software. And I don't know if you're watching right now, I can lose my screen with a dissolve with just the press of the button and have it bring back, and I can lose the picture altogether and come back with the radio only or my cell phone only. So I could do a lot of different little changes now with the video that I've learned a little bit and did some research on, but having a lot of fun with it. And maybe, Keith, you can go back and see how you sounded with your other radio going too, so.
The audio sounds real good. The picture looks real good. I'm looking at the 144.250. I'm looking around all the numbers. It's about as best you can get here looking at my TV. I got a high definition TV. It looks real sharp where it says after 8 o'clock net. Everything's real sharp and clear. Your audio's good. Your background, when I'm looking at you, you're fading in and out. That all looks all real good. You don't have too much light in the background on you, or you're not too dark that I can't see you. So it kind of blends in. You're looking real good there, Greg. K6EGG over there by Chino Airport. KN6 West here by Knott's Berry Farm.
Fred walked all over to Keith.
That's all right. I was just saying the same thing. It looks really good on this end. And I think Fred was able to find it tonight real quickly, your live stream.
Excellent. We have a KN6IRV that's listening on YouTube. He does not have a 2-meter radio, sideband radio yet, but hopefully he'll get one and he can join in with us. Maybe this will promote that a little bit.
I wish he'd come up at the Kilo November 6 IRV. I wish he could text you back. I wonder where his QTH is at. That'd be nice if we knew where he was listening from.
Well, just looking up his call sign, I could definitely see he's local here.
Well, I remember when I looked, because that's SoCal Simplex Archive, and I believe he's in San Pedro.
That's affirmative.
Why don't we take roll call again?
I'll start it out. K6EGG, City of Chino, 2 miles north of the Chino Airport.
I'll try again. WA6QXA, Kiev, Long Beach.
November 6th, Kilowatt X-ray, Rob in Riverside, 3 miles from the Riverside Auto Center.
Kilo November 6, Oscar Sierra. The handle is Fred, Foxtrot, Romeo Echo Delta. Fred, located over here by 605-91 freeway in the little town of Cerritos, 3 miles west of Knott's Berry Farm. I wonder if Curtis is up there tonight there in Apple Valley. AJ60, are you on frequency tonight? K6OS up there in the high desert.
That's not me. I just expanded my screen. I have about a 24-inch computer screen. So I expanded the screen on this thing. This thing is cool when you expand the screen.
Yeah, when I was testing out, I can, I don't know if you know your telephone, some of them in the newer smart TVs, you can screencast to your screen, so you could basically watch it on your big screen TV, whatever. So I was kind of doing that as a test to adjust the video, because the video on my computer looks like different than the video on my other computer and the TV, so I kind of made an adjustment to kind of be in between, so I can have the best of all the different worlds put together.
I spoke to Luis earlier this afternoon, and I'd mentioned to him that we'd probably be out here tonight and to check in. He'd been gone all week, so let me give him a call. Kilo November 6th, Golf Uniform Yankee. Luis, are you out there? Yeah, all right, negative copy. Maybe he'll join us a little bit later. So how many hours of work did you put in this week, Greg?
Oh, this week was not too bad. Next couple weeks aren't going to be too bad. So I got some earlier days, so hopefully I'll be on the radio a little more. I got some an afternoon game, something like that, coming up on Sunday. So not too bad. But in the coming month, it's going to be kind of crazy. So it's been nice to kind of chill out, because the last couple weeks have been rough.
Does this mean we won't be able to talk to you out there on the center anymore?
If I get some break time, yeah. Get some quiet time, but we've been kind of stayed set up for the last couple months, and starting next week, We're not, so I'm not going to have as much free time because everything's kind of been dialed in. We're going to have new production trucks moving in and out, so I'm going to have more time of setting up and stuff. So maybe. It's hard to tell right now, though. It got quiet tonight. What happened?
Yeah, I'm sending a text to Luis to see if he can join us.
So, Greg, you have two different meters showing, like kind of a bluish one and a kind of a greenish one on the left side, one on the right side. Can you explain the difference of the two?
I believe the one on the right is modulation, and the one on the left is frequency within the modulation. Like you see the lows to the left and the highs to the right.
Roger.
From setting up microphones and stuff like that, you always want to try to have a nice even bass, kind of flat. So you see when I talk, you get some lows in the beginning, some mids in there, a little bit of highs, and they all peak about the same rate.
You explain that like you actually know something about it.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5 going barefoot. And now testing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Oh, hammer down, modulation. Woo, woo, woo.
Just want to see the difference in the meter movement.
Well, you hammered down, you went to an S9, so that made a huge difference.
Keith, tell them about your new radio setup, your new power supply, how you got it wired in and everything, and how you like your new Astron power supply for the other power supply, how it used to be running, K6OS.
Okay, well, I got this new power pole distribution center. It's called a rig runner. Have you heard of that, Greg?
I have not heard of that before.
So it's a power pole distribution center. So I have two lead from that going straight to my power supply, and everything's hooked up to the rig runner with power poles and everything, and so it makes things a lot more cleaner and everything.
I do actually remember. You actually sent me a picture of that. I apologize. You do. That's because you're running one amp or one preamp, not preamp, but power supply to everything, correct?
That's correct. Astron 70 ampere.
That's a big boy. By the way, I want to say hello to my friend Ryan that's watching and listening, maybe still in Oklahoma. I think he's still in Oklahoma.
Can you hear us on the radio?
Not that far in 2 meter, I don't think.
Oh, come on, man. Don't underestimate Fred's 5,000 miles of radials.
Maybe Denny, if he was on 2 meter sideband over Arizona or something in the airplane.
I just got a text from Luis. He should be joining us shortly, and it'll be interesting to see what he sounds like, because he said he's made some changes to his radio, changed some filters around, and remember how we were talking about how he still sounded kind of muffled? So hopefully he'll sound more clear tonight.
N9QE.
Is it
just me, but I'm not getting audio on the feed anymore. There was a new station in there, N9QE.
Hey, Larry, welcome. Welcome to the frequency and to the YouTube live stream from Greg, Kilo 6 Echo Golf Golf.
Hey, good evening, everybody. Hey, I'm assuming Fred's out there. I just wanted to follow up about our conversation from earlier. I have a piece of test equipment. If you want to take down the manufacturer model number, it will do what we would want in the ham radio world. Go for it. Okay, it's called X-Tech, EXTECH, and see if I can get the model number here. The model number is 382258. 382258. It's an earth ground tester kit, and it's like $250. Is this the one that you had on eBay in 6EGG? That was X-Tech, E-X-T-E-A-C-H or T-E-C-H? It's, I've been up too much today. It's the T-E, Tango, Echo, Charlie Hotel. X-Tech Ground Earth Tester Kit. It comes with your couple probes that you put in the ground, and it will do exactly what we would want to do to test your like your grounding system, with your ground rods. I heard you earlier today. I was laying in bed. You're the one that works for the FFA, over? Yeah, I work over at the FAA. So that's the way you do your stations. And anyway, I guess some of the other guys, you might re-explain the three rods. There's three rods outside of the tower and one in the middle, over? Yeah, this one is a little more simplified. It only uses two ground rods, and your so it'd be three points, two ground rods, and what you would test, and so you'd hook it up accordingly. You have two reference grounds, and then your test. So, or actually one reference and one. But anyway, I just thought I'd share that with you guys, because that test equipment can get real expensive and elaborate. But it would meet the need if someone really wanted to know what is going on with their grounding at their house. Yourself, thank you. This is KGI. I'll pass it on.
Greg, K6EGG, there's a guy to talk to about your grounding problems in the flat strap and running 100 feet and all that. I want to turn it over to you, Greg. Ask the questions now. K6 West.
Greg, just gave you a machine. It's the X-Tech 250. That's model 382258. It's the earth grounding kit he wants you to buy,
Okay. Yeah, but Greg's got some questions to ask about grounding. Greg, K6EGG, talk to that guy about your problems there running 100 foot. Now's the time to ask the professional guy. K6 West.
Yeah, you got a copy of me? This is Greg, K6EGG.
Yeah, hi, Craig. Yeah, Larry here in Harbor City, N9QE. I'm vertical, and you're about an S5. That's good enough.
Excellent. You're exactly the same, and I'm vertical as well, with no ground. And that leads me to my next question. I'm in the excuse me. I'm in the second story of my my QTH, and is it okay to run the flat ground wire all the way down to the grounding rods that far away? 100 feet away?
I'd have to think about that. Are you in a apartment complex, or are you in a residential home, or what's the story there?
I'm in a residential track home. Where my radio is, it's upstairs in my office, I guess, and it's on the other side of where the cables run in, and by the time I get through the attic and downstairs, it's pretty close to 90 feet. I'm saying maybe 89 feet. So is that too far to run aground?
Well, probably not. You have an AC ground, right? You got a 3-prong ground probably connected to your equipment, right? At some point, or your power supply. So, you could probably do that, but you'd want to consider your size of your cable for the ground. That's what you'd have to look at, size-wise. And then are you taking it to a ground rod that you can place in the ground, or what type of, how's it connected to earth ground?
All right, right now I have 0 ground. I plan on putting in 2 ground rods about 8 feet apart, basically just down where I'm at from right now, where my office is at right now, and running that, I guess what would be a daisy chain. I would go into 1 ground rod and run another separate cable to another ground rod. That's my plan. At least that's what they said. Some of the people on here said that would be a good idea, and it might clean up some of the interference and noise that I'm getting.
Okay, well, any ground is probably better than no ground in most cases, but this is what I would recommend. If you're going to use a couple ground rods, I would, you could probably go ahead and use, the ground rod you get at Lowe's or Home Depot, the 8-footers that are 5/8 diameter. But what you need to do is you want to have those 2 ground rods spaced at least 8 feet apart. And they should be in a location to where there's no foundations close. So you'd want to push the ground rods away from your building and your foundation. So imagine drawing. You got a piece of paper and you draw a small dot on that paper, and then draw a 4-foot circle around that. A radius of 4 feet all the way around. That's your sphere of influence that ground rod would provide. So ideally, you would want that free and clear in the open, and then you would tie. Then you'd put the other ground rod at least 8 feet apart, and then you would mechanically connect those 2. Ideally, if you wanted the perfect scenario, you would electrothermic weld those, but most people can't do that, so you could use mechanical clamps. But when you connect the wire from your house over to your grounding system, you want to connect it to the middle of the wire, the copper in between the 2 ground rods. You don't connect your ground rod to one end. You want it in the middle of the 2, and then you clamp it there. And that's how you'd want to do that for to have it optimized for best grounding. Back to you, and 9QE.
That's some actually really good info. So basically, my feed line, quote unquote, coming from my ground station or coming from my station, would come down and go basically into like a Y that would feed both grounding rods, and ideally 4 feet from any object and 8 feet apart, which is going to be very difficult in my situation. I definitely can't do the 4 feet from anything else because I only have 2 feet or 3 feet of fence in between me and my neighbor. So I can definitely get 8 feet separation from the 2 rods, though.
Okay. Well, I'm kind of referring to a perfect situation. You have to adapt it to your particular situation. But if you can split the difference and try to optimize your configuration there, it will help. And then I would recommend that you use connecting the 2 ground rods together. Use bare copper. Use bare stranded copper and get the biggest size that you can afford to connect those 2 ground rods together, right? And the top of that ground rod ideally should be about 12 inches below grade, right? So you're gonna pound that ground rod in, but you want to go about 12 inches down, right? And then of course you're going to have to dig, right, and kind of trench over to the other ground rod and do the same thing. And so you want that, about at least 12 inches down, and to connect everything up. So the only question is what size of gauge ground wire you can run from that point to your station. And I would recommend, if you can afford it, just get a grounding bus bar, and then you would connect your ground wire to your grounding bus bar for your equipment, and then you can run, you can make a pigtail from the grounding bus bar over to your radio equipment, and you can tie other radio equipment to it then also. So you create a kind of a nice something that you would see in an equipment room that will give you future expansion. You can connect other things to it.
Copy that. That's pretty serious stuff then. So basically, the cable in between the 2 rods is buried as well.
Yeah. The whole thing is buried. All that's buried, right? And you're going to bury your ground wire that's connected to in between the 2 ground rods, and you're going to trench over to your structure, and then you're going to do whatever you need to do to get it up vertically to where it needs to go.
Wow, that's pretty intense, but that will do the job, you think, correct?
I'm sorry, I didn't catch what you said.
That's pretty intense going all the way down. I thought, well, I see most of the people that do grounding stations, there's usually like 6 inches of copper piping outside above the ground line. So I never knew going all the way 6 inches past the ground line was a thing. So that's good to know. That'd give me probably the best the ground that I could possibly do. Correct?
Well, I think in your situation that probably will work okay. Since you don't have anything right now, but the important thing is to consider your grounding as a counterpoise system, right? And it's part of your communication system, just like your antenna and your coax is part of your system. A lot of hands, they go out and they buy these big expensive radios, right? And then they end up buying cheap cable and coax cable, and then they're getting a bunch of noise, and that sort of thing. So you look at it as a communication system, and this is part part of your communication system that's important. There's a reason why there's a ground lug on the back of HF radios and everything else. So it is important to consider and to try to put something in, and all you can do is the best you can do, and it should help improve your receive performance and cut down the noise at some level.
Copy that. I appreciate the information, and I'm sure everybody else was listening. Maybe Fred can make some improvements to his own grounding system as well. I know he's a big proponent to it, and I don't know if you're watching the YouTube stream, but I have a little bit of noise tonight. It's not registering on my meter, but it's showing up as audible noise, I should say. So maybe that would help out a lot with that and stuff like that.
Yeah, absolutely. And you can do any grounding for your antennas as far as your antenna mask, and if you can run a ground for that, that's always recommended. I have an 1.5 inch rigid conduit for an HF antenna, and I have that rigid conduit grounded with 2 ground rods to help mitigate, noise, and it also worked for a lightning strike a little bit too. But lightning protection is a whole nother animal from equipment ground in a lot of ways. So, but anyway, I hope that helps. The only thing you need to consider is what size diameter gauge ground wire you're going to run from your station down to your ground rods. That's important. So if you can run at least a minimum of a number 6 AWG green, I would recommend that. If you can go bigger, I would go a little bit bigger, because you're talking about the distance that you're going to be running that.
Now that's not flat wire, is it?
No, I'm not referring to flat strap wire. I'm referring to regular, wire that you go to Home Depot and in the electrical section and find like number 6 AWG green jacket. That's what I'm referring to.
So that's the kind of cable I'd run all the way from my radio to my grounding rods. That's correct?
Yes. We don't use, where I work, we don't use any flat straps for grounding unless we would use it in applications where, like a door. We ground the door frames even in some of our shelters, and we will use a flat, a grounding strap for that, just because it works better. Because repeatability and opening and closing doors and things like that. So that's what we use straps for. Conventional grounding, we're using standard traditional wire. But we're using stranded wire.
Copy that. It's good to know. So would this be... I guess I'm wondering, will I get any EMI in, or is that a whole different deal? Because some of the guys, I know Fred was talking about, he's running the flat wire because of the EMI or the interference, basically turning into an antenna. But is that not the case?
Well, for HF, there's cases where if you're running a long ground wire, and that ground wire, and depending on what HF band you're on, if that ends up being like a quarter wavelength on the frequency that you're transmitting on, that can create problems. But if you're in UHF, VHF, I don't think that's going to be an issue. wavelength on 2 meters here is like 7 feet or whatever it is. So you're probably going to be okay. I don't see the issue myself, but maybe somebody that's a little bit more expert on that can really run the numbers and really tell you.
Well, I appreciate the information. Running a regular round wire will definitely help my situation get through the addict and stuff. Running like ribbon flat cable would be really difficult because I have to probably lead it in versus pull it with a pull string or something like that. So I really appreciate the info there, Larry. N9QE. I'll give us some great information on grounding, and I'm going to take it over, let somebody take it over for a little bit. I got to go make a phone call real quick, so I'll be back. This is Greg, K6EGG. Once again, thanks a lot.
Yeah, okay, Greg. Yeah, I'm picking up some noise here. I think it's just atmospheric noise, too, so, but hope I can help. I'm, just sharing information, that's all. N9QE, anybody else can pick it up there. I don't want to take over here.
Well, I guess it's getting to be the bewitching hour. Everybody's getting tired and comfy to get up at 6 o'clock in the morning. Ward, you still there? Keith, you still there?
I'm still around. I haven't heard Ward the whole evening.
You haven't? Since we started, I heard him earlier. I did send you guys that National Bureau of Standards, that paper, wavelengths and antennas and things that were floating around. People would make copies of that over the years. Printed it all out and handed it to people, and that's what I used to have as a copy of it. But so look it up, and there's all kinds of ways to skin a cat. And this gentleman's right, about the resonant length of their shaft. Over here in my shaft, I go to aerospace swap meets and things like that. And I found rolls of that stuff, and I rolled up maybe, I had a real good 6.2-inch piece that I used for my main ground. And I water drill them. I keep copper tubing the parts, and then they put a water faucet thing on it, a squirt solder, and just drill it right down into the wall. Really easy. Goes right into the water, drill it into the thing. A lot of people like to put copper sulfate down in the tubing. I use 3/4 inch and put a cap on the bottom and an 8-inch hole, and it's just like a 5-push hose. You dig the hole right down in the ground. Everybody else wants to pound it, slide it up and down. And I don't know, the flat-sided stuff with copper, if you haven't pulled one of them out, it erodes away. And it turns green, and that stuff in the whatever's in the middle of the steel or whatever they're using there, that just, it corrodes and that stuff falls off. So I like the copper because it lasts better. But anyway, that's my 2 cents. That's just good.
Well, I'm glad you gave us your 2 cents. You should have gave us your 3 cents there. Oh, well. Anyway, you didn't get no detail on the flat wire there because you act like an antenna there. But, well, that's the way it goes. Hey, and 6 West.
No, he's not talking about the flat wire looking any antenna in the length of copper. He wasn't talking about the flat wire.
Okay.
Anyway, I sent you guys that kit. It's the Earth testing ground kit. It's $200. Fred, I want you to go out and buy that thing and let everybody else use it, right?
Okay, thank you very much for the introduction, Alex. I'll take you up on that.
Yeah, I bet. Anyway, I sent it to you. There was this for $200 on eBay. $12 shipping.
And that's good to check the grounding, huh?
Yeah, well, we can even check to see if you're grounded.
How come that thing's so cheaper than the one me and you looked at?
Because it's a whole different system, folks.
Oh, I see.
Lefty and Dusty one with the loop. There's a tiny copy of the ones that you sell at Granger, and it's the inductive one to go around the ground and tell you what it is. But that's about $300 too. It's not 5,000, but it looks just very similar, right?
Yeah. Hey, Greg, are you still on?
He went away.
Oh, okay.
N9QE is still here, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm still here for the moment.
There you go, Chris.
Well, I'm glad you stopped by and talked about grounding and told everybody what's all going on. I really appreciate that you came by.
Yeah, okay. Well, there's a lot of different ways to do it. I just kind of sharing what we do over at the SAA. If you take a look at the NEC, National Electric Code, their main focus is safety, right? People don't get electrocuted. They're not so much concerned about the equipment, but on our side of the house, our specifications that we use for lightning grounding and bonding, we're trying to do both. Personal safety and also protect equipment. So in a lot of cases, our specifications is more stringent than NEC, even though we still have to meet NEC requirements on some of our engineering. But anyway, it's all good. You just work with what you can, and that's I guess the main point.
Yeah, when you put all these connections together inside of a building, do you guys use dielectric grease or anything like that to make it more conductive, or no?
Well, there's cases when we have to use coke grease, which for grounding because of the environment that we're in. It's not, you can't use it's not good enough just to use the standard type stuff that we use. So there's cases where we buy coke grease to accommodate for the grounding.
So this is a protective coating on to prevent oxidation and everything?
Well, it's to help get below our threshold of 10 ohms. That's what it is used for. It's not protective coating, but it provides better conductivity, I guess, for lack of a better word.
Yeah, better conductivity. Where do you buy that stuff at? High-powered electrical shop like Walters or what?
Oh, that's a good question. Most of the time, in those types of applications, I'm not the one buying it. It'd be our civil engineers. But there's places that you probably can buy it. I mentioned Mayday Grounding over in Buena Park. They probably would be able to get that. You can get all your grounding and lightning protective equipment and materials there, so it wouldn't surprise me if they would have it available there.
So that's Mayday, D-A-Y, Mayday?
Yeah, you can Google them. They're actually a pretty big chain, and the one in Buena Park is one that we've used quite a bit in the past and bought materials from. So Mayday Grounding, one word, yeah. Mayday Incorporated, or you Google it, you'll see it.
Yeah, I see it now. Ground bars, bus bars, coppers, strips, and cables and everything. Yeah, I see it now.
Yeah, I don't know if they're strictly a wholesale place or they sell retail. I don't know. I don't really worry about it too much because of where I work, but I would imagine, anybody's got a shiny dime, they'll be more than willing to take it.
Yeah, I see that. They got grounding plates and everything. Yeah, that's not very far from my house. Yeah, they got right here, antioxidant grease. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, that's a whole industry right there. So, when you get into talking about this stuff. So, but anyway, it's a good source, and also they have all the materials, equipment that you would need for electrothermic welds. I'm sorry. Can't think what I'm. Electrothermic, well, I think that's CAD welds, right? So the molds, the shots, all that stuff, you can get all that stuff there. That's the place that I told you about that will do the training, to learn how to do CAD welds and stuff. Yeah.
All the got to look them up. They got copper CAD, galvanized, stainless steel grounding rods. They got a lot of stuff there. Yeah, they're all into the grounding. I can see that. Thanks for the information.
Yeah, no problem there. And I looked up on eBay, and I see it's $200 for that unit. That's not too bad. That's reachable. Even I don't think I need to buy one. I might be able to use one from work, but it would be nice to have one just to play around with here at the house.
Yeah, you got to buy one, and everybody can borrow it from you.
Well, that's the way it works, right? When you have a pickup truck.
Yeah, I'm looking at the grease there. Antioxidant compound, pentatoxin, galvanizing, yeah.
So, Fred, after you heard this conversation, you're going to change some stuff on your station?
I don't have to really change that much. I'm kind of going the way he is there. I have to really change that much stuff. I'm looking at, the only thing I'm going to do different is, like you said, my central ground point coming out of my shack. Why? One going one way and one going the other way, which I was going to do anyway, but now he just gave me more proof doing that. But the other thing I didn't know is burying the wire from one ground rod to the other ground rod. He wanted it buried underneath the ground, correct? That's the way I understood it. From one ground rod to the other ground rod, I got my wire connected to the two ground rods together. So that wire, he also want me to bury that wire too?
Yeah, Fred, that needs to be buried. It acts as it's part of the grounding system, so you'd want that buried down below grade.
Okay, that's the only difference, Greg, that I got to do. I don't got that one buried below grade, below grade. So that's not hard to do. See what makes difference, because I got more conductivity with the ground with that other image touching dirt too. So that makes very good sense to me.
Oh yeah, I'm going to kind of change my plan of attack and try to do this as close to what Larry described, and hopefully I'll get a really good response or reaction from my radio and get rid of some of this noise and maybe help out with the interference. And would it improve the SWR at all?
Oh yeah, your SWR will go down. Oh yeah.
I really wish I can get my antenna grounded, but there's no way I'm going to be able to get up there.
Remember I was talking about that copper coil, 6-inch wide, 4-inch wide? They sell that stuff there. Wow. And they got copper sheets too. I'm looking at this stuff. Wow.
Hey, Larry, are you still on?
Yeah, I'm just looking at the internet here and a couple things.
The I can't remember the name of the cable you said, the green cable coming from the, I'm not that technical with the model numbers and stuff, the green cable coming from my inside of my shack down to the grounding rods. How would I connect that with the solid copper cable that's connected to the two grounding rods?
Well, you could use a mechanical clamp to do that. It's not uncommon to use what they call split bolt. You could try that. There might be some other ways to do it. Maybe a little bit. Maybe there's a way to crimp it, crimp on. You can use a mechanical. I'm assuming that, for your ground rods, you just would buy the ground rods, you buy the mechanical clamps where, you would put your bare copper. You want bare copper in between the two ground rods, not insulated wire, right? So I think most hands would probably just be using, mechanical clamps.
Copy that. I'll do some research on that and come up with a new game plan. It'd probably take me a solid day to get that all in, but do it right. Maybe I'll run the cable one day, and then the other half day I'll do all the digging and stuff like that for the actual grounding.
Hey, Larry?
Here's what I recommend to most people. Just a suggestion. Get a piece of 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper. Draw it out. Draw out your ground rods and write down, here's your connection point, what kind of connection you have here, what sizes you wire in between, sketch it all out. And, up at your shack, your radio, if you're going to use a copper bus bar type thing, you can buy those readily available. You can also find the proper type of clamps that would clamp the ground wire that's in your radio room to the bus bar. Sketch it all out. It'll help you. And it also, you can use that as a materials list, project materials list. And, that way, when you go buy the stuff, you won't forget things and have to run back to Home Depot 4 or 5 times. So I've done that a billion times, so I'm certainly well-versed in that. Back to you.
Copy that. I appreciate that. And actually, I was writing down exactly what I needed. And as I was kind of writing things down, I noticed that I wonder how this gets clamped together. So it's good to know. It shouldn't be too bad. I just wish I had some time. I have some time coming up in a couple, 8 weeks or so. So get that thing going, and hopefully, would it improve my audio of my station going out, or mainly is it for my use, the grounding, you think?
Comment. Hey, Larry, what about that ground enchantment material, bed night and stuff like that?
Well, I've never had to use it. Like I said, a lot of that stuff. I'm electronics, so a lot of that's done on our infrastructure side with civil engineers. So I don't have to buy some of that stuff. So never had to really go there.
It's supposed to help your grounding.
It can. There's no question about it, but it amounts to do you really need it? It all depends on your location and where you are and what type of soil you have, right? So maybe if you're out in the desert somewhere and that sort of thing, maybe it might be needed. I can tell you we put in a new system, an antenna array system with a new grounding pad. I antenna pad, and we put in a whole new grounding system, and this was in Phoenix, okay? And by the time we're done and we tested the performance of the grounding system, it was like, I don't think it might have been 1 ohm, and that's in the desert, so, it just depends, right?
Okay, I got you. Yeah, I see all the grounding place. Thanks for the information. This thing's got a lot of interesting stuff here, and it's not that far away from me. Buena Park ain't that far away from me. I didn't look up their address yet, but I will in a minute here. And I'll turn it over to KS6OS.
Yeah, now I'm just kind of planning this out in my head. I can't wait to get this thing going, and hopefully it'll improve my station a little bit here with excuse me, at least with the audio output and maybe some better SWR, which would mean more signal getting out of my antenna.
Yeah, Craig, just remember, when I said AWG, that's American Wire Gauge. That's the standard. So when you say number 6 HWG, that's a certain size diameter wire. So if you're not familiar with the acronym there, my apologies. But if you can afford it and you can run at least a number 6, that would be good. If you could go a little bit bigger, it might be better because of the distance that you're running. But anyway, just work within your means, and it's good experience, and you learn something along the way.
So, Larry, let me ask a quick question, if I may. On that number 6 AWG green, you said you stranded, and should that be insulated or non-insulated?
Well, running from inside, going out, the insulation is fine. Once you transition out, I guess it would be your option. I would probably cut the jacket off for the part that's going to be in the ground and tying to, your ground rods, right? I would strip it back, but if it's a short run between your structure and that point, maybe it's no big deal. But if you got a little distance in there, you might want to strip it back because it all held. So I guess it's just one of those things you'd have to weigh it out.
All right, thanks for that.
By the way, Larry, what type of radio system are you running right now at your base station that you're talking on?
Oh, I'm on the Icom 9100, and I'm using an SM30 microphone, and I'm actually running with LMR 600 cable with a Comet GP9 antenna, and it's up about, 35 feet.
I'm sure it's well grounded as well.
Yeah, I have a grounding bus bar. That's what it's called, and I have that here behind my radio equipment, and I got a number 6 that runs out from the room that I'm in to another bus bar that actually ties to my cable ground that goes to earth ground. So but I have a short run from here to there, but I'm just using a number 6 to accomplish that from the equipment grounding bus bar to the bus bar that ties to the ground rods.
Copy that. Well, your station sounds really good out here, and I'm sure what you're doing about 100 watts right now.
For that.
I apologize, Keith. I keyed with you.
That's try again. Larry, the wire that goes from your radio and your amplifier to your bus bar, do you like the braided wire, or what do you prefer for that?
Well, you know, I don't think it really, I don't know if there's an advantage of the braided type ones that are available, or just regular wire with crimp-on lugs. I actually just use wire with crimp-on lugs, so I actually have a smaller gauge wire that runs from the bus bar to the ground lug in the back of the radio here, but that's all we use mostly. Again, unless it's something that, you know, requires to be repeatedly open over and over again, then you want to use a braid type application. At least in my environment, that's how it works. So they probably both are adequate. Is one better than the other? It depends on the application.
All right, thanks.
Yeah, glad to help. Anyway, I think I'm using the number 12, actually, between my radio and my bus bar to my equipment ground.
This is K6EGG. Going to change the subject. Is it Bob here by chance?
For those of you listening on YouTube, sorry for the audio changes. I'm getting a little bit of noise, so I was trying to filter some of that out with equalization. So bear with me. Sorry about that.
Yeah, he was right in my noise level, so I didn't hear what he said.
I think that was KM6KME. You got noise over there in Harbor City?
Yeah, I got about an F3 noise level here.
I don't have no noise level. I'm well grounded. I don't have any noise.
I got about a 1S unit of noise. It's pretty clean tonight here in my area.
Yeah, they're triple. Yeah, I got an extensive grounding system. I have no noise. Keith, how much noise you got?
About a 2.
Well, you're better than Harbor City. Anyway, I got another question here. I noticed that the Mayday place, they use aluminum. Is that special aluminum? Because aluminum, a lot of times when you go to aluminum copper, you got two different metals, a metallurgy there, and you also have a lot of oxidation on the aluminum. What do you think?
Well, I can tell you we don't use aluminum. What's the for?
Oh, this Mayday place advertising they got aluminum. I don't want to use aluminum because aluminum's got too much oxidation, and it don't take near the heat and everything as copper does, and you always lose conductivity there with aluminum and the connections. You always got corrosion and everything. Aluminum's not a good conductor.
Yeah, but what were they using the aluminum for at Mayday? What were they selling? What was the application for?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know what the application was for. I've just seen that they sold that stuff, and I was really shocked that they sold it.
Aluminum ground rod, aluminum plastic. Oh, that's good.
No, it's aluminum connection to reduce. You want to have a reducer, like a splice and a wire to reduce.
Oh.
I didn't check yet. I'm going to check. Because they said they could do their own cutting there, too. I know. You go down Beach Boulevard to Commonwealth. That's the street where Fullerton Airport's on. You make a right-hand turn to right there. Not very far from my house. All right, they're not very far from my house.
Yeah, that's why I mentioned it, Fred, because I knew it was in your area there. But yeah,
Those of you listening on YouTube, did you notice the big difference in noise all of a sudden?
Other places around, their pricing, is it better or worse? I couldn't tell you.
Oh, no, I could use it. I like the place. I can see where I get some things already. Yeah. Anyway, K6EGG, whoever wants to pick it up.
Well, my phone is changed, Joey.
They have them there. They got stainless rods there. Maybe that's where Home Depot gets them from. They have them.
And they got the 5/8 decoder. I see it.
They probably got grounding plates there too, Fred.
Yeah, they do. They got grounding plates there. I've seen that.
We bought them there, though. N9QE.
Yeah, they got grounding plates there. I've seen that.
They got blinds. I don't like that one. They have that custom attachment heat product that keeps the price really good. They got your grounding test meters there, the clamp-on type, right?
No, how much?
I don't know. It's there. Sure you could buy it.
Yeah, I got stainless steel here. 30458 and 3/4 inch diameter standard.
Yeah, I've used stainless before.
Yeah, I don't see how long the rods are.
I think some of them are. Last time I checked at another place that I checked, they were 10 foot, huh?
Oh, okay, 10 foot. Yeah, it don't say here. You think they'd say, but it don't say.
Well, you got the phone number. There's a place to contact an email.
Okay, pull out your credit card. Give me your credit card number. I'll handle it right now.
What can I do?
Oh, they got compression tools too, wire cutters and everything. Oh, they even have rentals on compression tools.
Sounds like your place.
Oh, I want to look here. Heat shrink tubing. Wonder if they must got some good heat shrink.
Well, maybe they got stainless steel chicken wire. Got it on Amazon.
Right here, the heat shrink that says wall.
Well, I guess that's what you need. All right, it's 9:22. Adios, amigos. I'm going to shut down the station.
Okay, 73, that's 6JJ, 73. I'm glad you joined the round robin out here tonight. K6OS. Anybody want to pick it up?
Yeah, Fred, it's Greg. I'm actually probably going to get out of here myself and end the stream here shortly. It's been kind of a long day for me. Just got back finally to the gym, which was really nice. I hope to be back on Sunday night, possibly around 7:30, 8 o'clock. We'll see how that goes. I got to work in the afternoon. I should be out by 6:30 and get back in the area by 7:38. So I'll come on right thereafter. But anyways, you guys take care, Fred. Everybody else out there, I think I ran off real quick to go take care of an errand, so I didn't get to say bye to some of the guys that took off already. So Keith and Rob, if you're still out there, Fred, of course, Alex, and Larry, I really appreciate your help tonight. You got to lead me in a good direction here. This is Greg, K6EGG from the city of Chino, and I'm 2 miles north of the Chino airport. I am signing off tonight.
Pretty pleased that, Greg. I'm glad you came on board there and did all the work you did tonight. Fine work, and it was a very interesting topic tonight for especially all the people listening and all the other amateur radio people out here. And good, now I can back play this anytime and listen for all the little details. That's what's nice about the streaming here. I can go back over and over and listen again. 73 to everybody out there was listening, even if people don't have radios were listening. Kilo November 6 Oscar Sierra. Bye-bye.
That's it, Greg. Great job tonight. We'll talk to y'all later. W86 QXA Keith. Good so long.
See you guys later, N9QE.
And thank you very much, Larry there in Harbor City. Your audio sounded real good. My noise level is not even a 1.
All right, it is now 9:23 here in beautiful Southern California. I think I have my clock set on my radio as well, finally. Set up for daylight saving time. Summertime, here we come. Anyways, thank you for joining me here tonight. This was, what is this, the 19th of March, 2021, the anniversary of everything getting closed down by since last year from the coronavirus. So hopefully we'll get opened up soon, and this has actually been some pretty good time for me to catch up on this hobby, which I've been kind of putting in the back burner because I've been working a lot and away from home a lot, traveling and whatever else. So it's good to catch up on things. And we had some really good info tonight from Larry N9QE and Fred K6OS as always. So it was good to chat with everybody and great information. So hopefully you'll be able to get some more information on this channel here in the coming weeks and months to come. This is Greg, K6EGG from Chino, California. Have a good evening, everybody.